guys, so it is August 29th and I just have this crazy story I want to share with you guys. So last night I was driving home from work. It was probably like 8:30-ish, and so the thing that happened was I was listening to the radio, but it was like Mr. Whitaker or something like that. One of those like Christian story things, and I don't ever really listen to those because they're just kind of like not that interesting to me, but I didn't want to change the radio station, so I just left it on. And so I drove all the way home, and then when I got home, I turned off the car, and I opened the door, and I started humming, and I just started saying, So by the time I got out of the car and I shut it, I started singing the lyrics, and I'm walking in through the garage saying, wise men say, only fools rush in. So I say that like maybe 2 or 3 times, just saying that same line. So then when I walk into the house, my husband's like kind of strumming on this like little ukulele, and I was just like, what are you doing? And so he's just like strumming, and I'm not paying attention to anything he's saying or even doing. He's just kind of like strumming it. And so he's saying that, you know, like, because it's actually my daughter's. And so I go and I put my jewelry up, and he's like, hey, I learned this song, tell me if you know what it is. So right when he strums, I say, wise men say, and he's like, how'd you know? And I was like, how do I know what? Like, I'm just singing that song because that's what I was singing in the garage, because I wasn't listening to what he was playing. I just wanted to sing the song I was singing. So he was like, that's the song I was playing, that's the song I learned. And I was like, nuh-uh. And I look at my son, and he's like, yeah, he's been playing that song for like 30 minutes. And I was like, seriously? Like, I just started singing that song for no reason. Like, I wasn't even listening to music on the radio. In fact, I haven't listened to music on the radio for months because I just been leaving it on that Christian station. So I was just like, how in the world did I start singing this song out of nowhere that he's been playing for 30 minutes? And he was like, you must have just heard me. You must have been hearing it on your way in. And I was like, there's no way. All the way from my car through the garage to here. And he was like, yeah, you probably heard me. I was like, I didn't. And he was like, yeah, you did. You probably did. And I was like, okay. So I told my son, I'm like, let's go outside and let's see if we can hear it. I was like, there's no way we can. So I walk all the way into my car, and I'm like, even if he was screaming on the top of his lungs, we still would not hear him. So we start walking in, and could barely hear a little bit of like the ukulele, like barely strum it a little bit, like really nothing. And that's like when we're halfway in the garage. And so we walk in, and we're like, he's singing, still singing, and we're like, we can't hear you out there. And so I was so shocked. I kept like looking at my son and my husband like in disbelief, like, how did that happen? Like, how in the world did I sing a song that you've been playing for 30 minutes? Like, I was so shocked. I couldn't understand it. And I kept saying, like, how did that happen? How did that happen? And my husband didn't seem like too impressed, but I was like, you should be completely impressed. I don't understand. And so like later he was just like, yeah, that is kind of weird. But I was like, no, it's completely like amazing. Like, how, you know? So I didn't understand it. So this morning when I woke up, all of a sudden I started thinking, like, that makes sense to me now. Like, God was trying to show me that things that don't make sense, that you just think is completely like unbelievable, is possible. Like, he can make anything happen. Like, the fact that that happened was just proof that things that are like completely outrageous to you and you think that may not come true, like that, you know, your prayers or things that you've been wanting to happen, or things that you think are just like way beyond your reach, they aren't. Like, God is capable of anything. So I thought that was really cool because I've actually been like wondering about a certain situation. There was this house I really, really wanted so bad, and when I didn't get it, I was disappointed, even though it wasn't like the perfect house, because I thought it was, except I really did not like the layout of upstairs. Like, I just didn't like the way it was laid out. And I was just like, well, I don't care. I'd still settle. If I could have that house, I would settle for that layout that I don't like. I don't care. And when I didn't get the house, not that I was even trying to get it, I was just wishing that I would win the lottery and I could get it. And when it didn't happen, I was just like, oh, when I saw someone else had bought it, I was just like, oh man, now I really can't get that house. And so I had this dream not too long ago, a few months ago, and it was this like house, and it was a yellow house, and it had rocks, and it had a river in the back. And I remember my dream, I was thinking, oh, this house is so beautiful. I was so happy, and I just thought, this house is so beautiful. And then out of nowhere, started like looking at posts on Facebook of like houses on Zillow, I don't know. And I was just like looking at all these houses, and they're so pretty. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this house is so pretty. Well, then I just got stuck on this one house I've been obsessing over, just like loving it and looking at it. And every time I look at that house, I realize something new. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was the house that was just like in my dreams. Like, there's parts of it that just remind me of my dream. It wasn't exactly, but the fact that the house was yellow, the fact that I had rocks, the fact that I had water in the backyard, like, because there was a pond. And so I was just like, wow, this house is a lot like it. And then I look at the house again, and I'm like, this is my dream home. I've always wanted a house with lots of windows. I've always wanted a house that had like the mother-in-law like built in, like the guest house built into it. Like, I've always wanted these types of things, and it was like so much land that my husband's always wanted, and it had a barn, and it just had all these like amazing things, and I was like, this is the house of my dreams. Like, this is the house I want. And so I kept saying to my kids, like, we're gonna get this house, we're gonna get this house. And we're not really trying to even move. Honestly, there's no reason for me to be looking at houses. Like, we have jobs here, we have this house, like, there's no reason for me to be looking at houses. But I have this desire to like want this house. And even though it seems impossible because it's lots and lots and lots of money, and it seems like it's impossible, I think God just showed me like, it's not impossible. It's not. And I've known like nothing is impossible. I know that. But I think that this situation yesterday just like really like testifies for that, you know. It just like says, yes, like this is possible, you know. I don't know, it was just amazing, and I was just so excited, and I had to share that story with you guys, because like, how incredible is that I can be singing a song that he's been playing for 30 minutes. It's so crazy. So yeah, that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.